This is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks, where we review movies. Love them or hate them, someone's got to do it. So enjoy the show. Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm April.
And this is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks.
And anything else that gets in the mix.
So, April.
Yes.
You've had a big day today.
Oh my God, yes. I had a very productive day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell the lovely people what you did?
Okay, so months and months and months ago, remember how I was going to redo my bathroom?
This is not where I thought you were going.
Well, that's where my day started. Okay, that's where my day started.
Okay.
I had bought this thing, you know, where you could put like your hair appliances in, like your hair straightener and all that stuff. It's a little twirly. What's it? Yeah. Daisy, whatever.
Daisy Susan.
Daisy Susan. There you go.
Daisy Susan.
Whatever. It's when Lazy Susan.
Yes.
And I bought one. And I had never put it together because it actually has dividers.
Yeah.
I finally put it together. I rounded up all of my hot appliances, and I was surprised how much I had. I have a hair straightener.
Yeah.
A wand to curl my hair.
Of course.
The curler that curls my hair. And then I have a crimper.
Yeah.
And the blow dryer and the accessories. Yeah. And I had like 4 hairbrushes to do different things.
Of course.
And that's not even counting like combs and other stuff. So I put that together. And then I was like, the trash is really full. I'm going to throw it out. And then I cleaned out the pantry. I threw away so much expired stuff. Like all of my pandemic food is gone. Wow. Do you like chili? Because I have like 2 cans that are going to expire in July. So they're good for like the next few days. Because I don't really eat chili.
Yeah.
But you know, it was a pandemic. I didn't know like if I would be desperate for meat and that was all there would be.
I mean, it was hard to find anything. So
yeah. So I threw away like 3 trash bags. Keep in mind, it's also like boxes, you know, like just crap of just stuff. So I threw all of that away.
Well, look at you getting organized.
And then I went to go get my car appraised and I left with a new car.
As one does.
Yeah. So,
yeah. She was, yesterday you were like, hey, this Ford has the Bronco and the Maverick. You should come check it out. And then today you were like, so I think I'm going to buy a car.
Yeah.
And how old was your car, April?
2019.
And when did you buy it?
2019.
Oh, I thought you got it in 2020.
No. I got it pre-pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah. I should have waited for that pandemic sale. But honestly, I wouldn't have bought a car during the pandemic because I would have been like, oh my gosh, the future's uncertain.
So true. I mean, it's still uncertain, but
that's true. Like
something happened the other day and I was like, dude, 2022, man. It was like the world was like, can it get worse? And 2022 was like, yes, it can.
Yeah.
And lots has happened.
Every single day, something's happening.
You know, I thought about this yesterday, and I know it has nothing to do with our episode, and it's kind of a downer, but we will pick it back up. I was like, you know, the real problem? 24-hour news, media, social media. Like if that went away, I think so much would be better. At least the 24-hour news cycle, because I just feel like it's so depressing. So depressing.
Here's the thing. There's news junkies that will watch that 24 hours a day. For me, I don't really watch the news unless something interesting is going on. And then I really just watch those stories for a while, you know, but like stories fade away or my interest fades away. Like a lot of times it's just, they're just repeating the same thing over and over with just minute changes or updates.
But a lot of time, like it bugs the crap out of me when a story on Yahoo, Google, whatever is sourced by a TikTok or a Twitter or an Instagram. I'm like, that's not That's not real journalism, guys. That's someone saying, oh, I heard this. I heard Tommy did steal the cookie from the cookie jar. Like, that's not real. Where's your source? Who is your source?
Another thing to think about is that a lot of the local journalism isn't happening anymore. Yeah. It used to be done by papers. And now it's just done by television.
Well, what they just want it to be fast. It doesn't matter if it's accurate because whatever is out first, that's the narrative. And people will follow whatever that is. Like it doesn't matter if it's correct. They're just going to run with it. They're like, oh, you heard this? Cool. Let's go.
They do redact it.
Yeah, but no one pays attention to that.
I don't know. I rather hear something first. Like, I rather know something's at least going on. And that way, if it's important enough, I will keep up with it and find out what's going on. Like, honestly, anytime anything happens, the first place I go to is Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the first place I go to because that's going to have the most information. Mm-hmm. Now, is that always accurate? No. But here's the thing. I'm not just reading one tweet.
Exactly. Me neither. I go to Google and I'll Google whatever it is, and I'll look at like a couple different stories.
Yeah.
And then from there, I'll surmise what I think happened.
Exactly.
But not everybody does that.
Yeah.
We're normal people. It's the weirdos that don't do that.
Same thing. Like, I love going to Google News.
Yeah.
And I read something and then I hit, like more similar stories and I will read, depending on how invested I am into the story to know more information, because different people are going to come at it from different angles and give different, like eyewitness accounts and stuff. So,
what would be helpful, I think, is to have the newspapers that they have in the movie that we watched. Like that's really grabs your attention. I think if newspapers were like that today, they would still be very popular.
I think the biggest problem is, okay, so when I'm reading, I rather read an article than watch the news. Like, honestly, I will not watch the news. The only time I watch the news is when I'm eating and I'm playing it on YouTube. And they're like, they're literally the story I want to see. I hate when you watch real news and there's a story you want to see and they'll be like, and we'll come back to that later. It's like, no, I want to know about that now, you know? So I prefer, like, let's say there's something like that and they can't tell me what I want right then and there. I'll go look it up.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times when I'm reading these stories, I'm only reading the headlines, like really to catch my eye. And then how it gives you like a little blurb of the first few lines. That's my news. I read headlines and I read the little blurb. And if it's interesting enough, I will read the rest. If not, like most of the stuff just doesn't concern me, doesn't bother me. I can't do anything about it. There's no point in reading it,
But if newspapers were like the newspapers.
No, but people don't read. That's the thing. People hate reading.
I'm trying to get somewhere with this, April.
Okay, go for it.
So if newspapers were like the newspapers in Fantastic Beasts or Harry Potter, I think people would pay attention to that. Like, they're very catchy. The people are moving, the pictures, like the headlines are like, boom, pow, wow, in your face. And the stories seem more interesting.
So, have you seen the news on like Snapchat where you have to keep scrolling through the stupid pages?
I don't like to have to change.
Exactly.
I hate that.
But that is our modern day, daily profit would be that type of news article where you have to click next.
Yeah, I'd rather have the old school paper with the people that move. I changed my stance. So for those who don't read, like April and I have talked, we're doing Fantastic Beasts. This is our third.
Yes.
This is The Secrets of Dumbledore.
Ooh.
And in this movie, they have the newspapers are back again. Obviously, That's how everybody gets their news. And I've changed my stance. In Harry Potter, I was anti moving picture people, but I've changed my stance. This one, it made it look so cool. And I was like, okay, I know. Oh, so obviously this one is 20 years after the first one started. Well, actually 21 years, I guess. The graphics are a gazillion times better than anything in the Harry Potter series. Even the later Harry Potter.
Do you think they would ever like remaster Harry Potter and fix it?
I think if they did, they'd make a gazillion more money.
Yeah.
More money? That's
more
a
money.
good sentence. I think that they would actually
love that.
make a lot of money. I actually had a thought while we were watching this movie.
Okay.
And let me see if I can find it.
She's got notes.
I do have notes. I always take notes and then I barely ever look at them. So I think it would be interesting if we had a movie. These are the different characters I'd want to focus on if they had other spin-off Harry Potter movies.
Okay.
So Harry Potter's parents.
No.
Snape.
We already got his backstory.
Yeah, but it'd be good to like have a movie about him and the parents, like all together. Myrtle.
That would be an interesting era.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, because she was alive in a different period
Yeah.
than them. So I would like to see that era, yeah.
I kind of want to see that. Tom Riddle, but we've already kind of seen some of his.
I would love to know more Tom Riddle story, but we pretty much have his story.
Yeah.
Like all the focus, all the big points in his life we got.
I'd want one about the Weasleys.
No.
I think it'd be interesting, just like all the way back to the
No.
first generation of redheaded Weasleys.
No.
And then I didn't put it down, but I thought about it, but I guess I got distracted on something else. Luna Lovelace.
Lovelace?
Yeah. I think to find out what she's doing now.
What is she doing now?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think she would be very interesting. She like brought the story back to life for me when we're watching the Harry Potter movies. And I feel like she would be an interesting character to kind of know what the hell she's up to. Maybe she hangs out with Myrtle. I don't know. I don't know what she does, but she's a whole different kind of character. And I thought that would be really interesting to get those kind of people. What about you? If you could make one of any character from the Fantastic Beasts or from...
I want a story of the Black family. Draco's aunts and cousins.
Okay.
Like I want to know about the three sisters, Andromeda, Bellatrix, and Narcissa. And then their cousins, Regulus and Sirius, and their family. So they're all the Black family. There's actually, I saw on YouTube where these like fans made their own movie and they have like 1 million views of the Black sisters. But I don't want to see it yet because I only know the movies, you know? So it's like, I'm waiting, like, okay, do I read the books? Cause like, I really want to know more about their family.
You should do audiobook.
No, I hate audiobooks. They go too slow. I read faster than that. Because here's the thing, I can't listen to it. I've tried it before, but it's more, for me, it's more like a follow along, but they're going too slow and I hate it.
Yeah. I've tried to do audiobooks and I did one of them and it was okay. But I felt like I missed a lot of information, which is weird because I listen to podcasts and I feel like I get all that. But maybe it's because most of the time I'm listening to podcasts that are about something I already have seen. So I know what they're talking about. The only ones that I haven't seen are ones for Dateline, but I don't really have to watch that to know what they're talking about. So I don't know. I understand that. I get it.
Can you imagine doing an audio book on Harry Potter as your first introduction, you would be like, what the? Okay, the only good part I can see is that you would finally know how to say everybody's name and say all of the words.
Yeah, so I equate Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts to Game of Thrones. I was so incredibly lost when
Really?
we were watching Game of Thrones because I hadn't seen it ever. I watched it literally before the very last season started. And we caught up like the day the very last episode was airing. We had just enough time to watch last episode.
So I feel like when you binge watch like that, your mind can't process much information.
No, it couldn't.
Because it has taken time for this Harry Potter to really simmer in my brain and like you know how obsessed I am.
Yeah, you have went from someone who never wanted to watch it to someone who
hated when I was watching it to like
wanting everything Harry. You just bought socks today.
I did. I bought some Harry Potter, some Slytherin socks, and it was in Malfoy 7. And then I was telling you how I was at Barnes and Noble and I was considering buying Draco's wand, but it was like $30. And I was like, next time.
Yeah. You're like, I'm gonna bought a car today, so I don't.
Oh, no, that was the other day. Actually, that was Wednesday.
Hey, you have a white car. You should get the green Slytherin S on your car as a sticker.
That doesn't go with white. I was actually thinking Stormtrooper.
Isn't part of their color, isn't it white?
I thought it was like black and green.
I thought they had white in there.
Maybe. Yeah, well, I don't know, but I was thinking of Stormtrooper.
Well, there is that too.
I still love Star Wars. So I don't talk about it as much, but like I saw Obi-Wan Kenobi, caught up on that.
Yeah.
We will save that discussion for another day. Yeah. But like what's fresh is the Harry Potter because it's like a whole new world for me to explore, you know?
Yeah.
And with Star Wars, like I've been through all of that. Yeah, there's new stuff that comes out, but Harry Potter's just so new. Like I learned new stuff about it all the time, or I think about new ideas on it.
So with Harry Potter, and you know, as confused as I was with Harry Potter, I feel like I still understood what was kind of going on. Mm-hmm. I have not understood almost a single thing from Fantastic Beasts. This is our third movie. I watched all three. I was awake for all three, and I have retained none of it. Like, I retained the funny parts.
Yeah.
But, like, I never knew what was happening. Not a single bit of time. I didn't understand what they were talking about. I didn't understand what their goal was. Like, I kind of got the gist, like, hey, we're trying to kill this guy, but we can't kill him because he can't kill him because of this necklace thing. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I had absolutely no idea what they were doing most of the time they were doing it. Mm-hmm. But if we want to take it back to the top.
Okay.
So Dumbledore, he's gay?
Oh my gosh, yes. And okay, so in this movie, that Grimwald dude has been replaced.
Yes.
Because Johnny Depp now has been acquitted, found not innocent or guilt or what?
Both.
Johnny Depp is not guilty of defamation, whatever. He is the victim. Anyways, because of that whole nonsense, stupid Disney dropped him, and a bunch of other people did too. Yeah. And I did not when I heard that he wasn't going to be in this movie, I just thought he wasn't going to be in this movie. His character, I did not realize that he got replaced. And I'm kind of torn.
Because you like the new guy. I did feel like he was a better character, better villain. I don't know what you want to say.
Here's the thing. Once it was revealed that in the beginning that Dumbledore is gay for Grimwald, I was like, Oh yeah, I can see it. I could see how you fell in love with him, right? And then I thought back to Johnny Depp and I was like, yeah, but that's Johnny today.
Yeah.
Just imagine what Johnny looked like in his 20s and be like, yeah, I would be gay for Johnny Depp
If
in the
he
day.
was 21 Jump Street Johnny, 100%.
So
This Johnny, no.
So,
no.
so that's why I'm like, okay, I could see both of these characters being the perfect Grinwall because in the first two movies, his character's portrayed as a crazy fanatic, you know, who's trying to bring down and the world and just like evil, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like they had the crazy hair, the crazy look, and it worked for Johnny's character. But now he's running for president, prime minister, and you needed somebody suave
He
and
is
like
way more suave.
and so I was just trying to imagine, it's like, what would they have done with Johnny's hair? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, how would they have transitioned his character? Because I still don't know if this is based on books.
Yeah.
I still don't know if these are books or original stories or what. Because I'm just like, what is the book vision of Grinwall?
Well, what's funny is that the guy who's playing Grinwall in this movie, he's in Hannibal, which I've never seen. I've seen like commercials or stuff for it.
I hear it's a really good show.
Yeah.
My roommates used to watch it, but again, I don't watch TV.
Yeah. But in that movie, I think he kind of is the same type of character. Like,
And it's good.
Yeah.
Like, it works.
like he basically is just wearing different clothes, but
Yeah.
the same kind of guy. So it works for him. He does that character really well. So I felt like he was a good replacement.
For this film, because he is now trying to be sophisticated.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know how good he would be if he was crazy fanatic.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like both actors did well with their material for their particular films.
Yeah.
I still kept wondering how Johnny would have been in these movies, though. Like, I just wonder. I would have loved to have seen him composed, debonair, you know, gentlemanly, not cuckoo crazy. So I feel I was cheated of that. Another thing is that, again, I did not know he was being replaced. So for him to be in this movie, I just thought it was going to be like, you know, Dumbledore's Secrets. Like, it's going to be his story.
Yeah.
And we would just...
Wasn't a lot about him.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that he is gay for...
Like, I just...
which is fine.
See, here's the problem. If these are based on books, then I can see why this is the way the story needed to be told. Yeah. But if these are not books, then you could have told this story differently to where Johnny's character, I keep calling him Johnny.
Yeah.
He's the one I want.
Yeah.
You know, where his character was either in the shadows, maybe you saw him from the back, he wasn't really talking. You hear him mentioned, but you don't see him.
He changes his face like he did in the second movie.
Yeah, like, no, it was in the first movie. He was played by Farrell. No, it was in the first movie.
I thought it was in the second when he was escaping the prison. Oh, that was the second one.
No, in the first movie, he was a detective dude because you only saw him at the very end.
Well, I was meaning in the second one when he's escaping in the carriage. He was
But in the first movie, he was the other guy completely.
Okay, I didn't catch that.
Yeah. No, he was. What was his?
I told you I was
Colin Farrell. Yeah. He was him the whole movie, and then he got caught at the end. And then he polyjuiced himself at the beginning of the second movie. So why couldn't we have this dude polyjuiced as Johnny as himself? Yeah. You know, like I would have much preferred that.
Yeah, they could have at least said that just so we're not like, what's happening?
Yeah.
But
I would
whatever.
That way you would have left it open so that Johnny could come back.
Yeah.
Because now what's going to happen? You know?
Yeah.
Like I can totally see Disney be like, nope, we can't turn back now. We've already got this dude.
Yeah.
Which is unfair. Like, don't get me wrong. He did really good. He did superb. I loved him, but for continuity.
Well, wouldn't it be weirder if they go back to Johnny then?
Not if I don't watch this movie. I mean, like, I love Star Wars, but I watch them in my own order, and there are movies I don't watch.
Yeah.
So
in this one, Newt is he finds this like dragon deer thing, and it's
a
giving,
little baby Bambi.
Yeah, it's giving birth, and we see one, and we're like, oh, and it is walking around
trotting around
like a Bambi, and then some people come out of nowhere, and they like cut through his force field, and they steal the baby deer, and then the mom dies. And then all of a sudden, this other little deer comes trolloping along, and you're like, what is happening?
You had twins.
Yes. And so he keeps one safe.
Yeah.
And then we find out that those are really important, and that they find the like people who are super nice.
Yeah, who are good of heart.
Yeah.
They bow to them.
Yes. And apparently that means that they should be the president.
Well, in this particular case, you know.
And so that we find out is why Griswold wanted to kill the deer, the Bambi. Let's just call it a Bambi.
He wanted its blood so that he can see like glimpses of the future. Yeah. And then he like killed it to reanimate its corpse so that it would bow to him.
Yeah, it was super weird.
Yeah.
We kept feeling bad for it every time.
I know. It was so sad.
Yeah. But it was so cute. Oh my
God.
Thing was so
Every
adorable.
little animal was so cute. Even the little crabs.
Yes. That was probably one of my favorite parts. They go into, Newt's trying to rescue his brother who'd been kidnapped. And he goes into this cave, and there's all these like little crab things. And you have to like, I guess
follow the leader type thing.
Be their leader. And so they're doing this weird crab walk. And then there's like, if the light goes out, this snake thing comes, and it was this whole big thing, whole big ordeal. But yeah, I really enjoyed the snake or the crab part. So both guys are walking like crabs, and he's like, "You're not doing it right." He's like, "I think I am," and he's like, "I don't think you are."
He's like, "You're supposed to be swaying, and you're shimmying or something." He's like, "I'm swaying."
No, he wasn't.
He was shimmying.
One of my favorite characters in this Fantastic Beast is Jacob.
Oh, I love him.
Yes, and he comes back, and he is a wizarding muggle now. They gave him a
wand, but it has no core.
No. So is it just like a fakey wand, just so he can feel part of the group?
Well, so a wand is made out of a specific wood,
right,
and it's a specific length, and then it has a magical core. So it is a real wand. It just doesn't have a magical core because he's not magical, so he can't interact with it.
Why give it to him?
So that they will think that he has a real wand. And remember, assassin, that whole thing, because it was really the other chick that like did the little magic spell. Yeah.
I learned so much from us discussing this movie.
It's basically like I buy that wand I want.
Yeah. And
then somebody else like casts a little spell on it, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing magic, but I'm not.
And Queenie, his love interest, she is on the dark side or whatever group they want to call themselves.
Yeah, I her character storyline, like I can see her going to the other side, right? But then once she's there, she's not really feeling it.
Yeah, I think she realized she made a terrible mistake.
Yeah, and she didn't know how to get out. And it's been about a year since the last movie. So
I'm guessing because she's an empath, they have a specific word for it. I can't think of what it's called.
a legitimist,
Yeah.
a mind reader.
A mind reader, basically. So she can read minds, but I think she also has like a little bit more than that. Like maybe like emotions too. Like, and so she must have sensed or felt something from Grinwald and realized I made a horrible decision and I shouldn't be here.
Yup.
And, so she had to 86 this hot dog stand and get out of there.
Yep.
So we find out in the last movie that Dumbledore and Grinwald, Johnny Depp are like
and Jude
linked.
Law.
Yeah, Jude Law. That their blood is linked together in this necklace. And if one of them even thinks about killing the other, it starts to like suffocate him.
Yeah.
And like wrap around his arm and cut off circulation.
So here's how I see it. When they were young, they were young and in love and probably idealistic and a bit, when you're young, you see the world differently. And it's not necessarily a bad thing that they saw, but they were like, why are we hiding? Because there's that law of secrecy where the magical world is kept away from the muggles, but the muggles are more populated than the magic people. So I'm sure from their perspective, they're like, well, why are we hiding? We have more power than they do. I'm sure they remember like the witch trials and the witch hunting, and how muggles are evil. So when they were young, they were like, no, let's stop that, so I can see how being young, they want that freedom and they want to change the world. As they grew older, Dumbledore, I guess, and when they were young, they made a vow to each other with blood that they would do this together. And if either one of them ever got like a change of heart, that they wouldn't try to stop the other one.
Yeah.
And so then as they grew older, Grinwald stuck with it, but became more, what's the word? Fanatic.
Yeah.
Whereas Dumbledore, he might still want those things, but realizes how unrealistic it is and the reason why these rules are in place, to protect not only the magic world, but also the muggles, because we muggles, we can't help that we don't have magic. Yeah. We can't help, like, people nowadays that like if magic came back or if magically appeared, that people would go crazy and be like, oh my God, they're demons,
Yeah.
Like, let's just face it. Like people will overreact, go crazy and try to kill the witches. Like they will, it will happen. So you kind of do have to keep the magic world apart. You just have to.
I mean, it happened once in our backstory. It can happen again.
Yep. So I recently saw a TikTok this past week, and it was from the first or second week in March or May that I missed. Apparently, McDonald's had this special that if you downloaded their app and you ordered, I don't know, chicken nuggets or something, you would get a free tarot reading, and they had it for Mercury in retrograde. And the story that I saw was one of those Christian stories, and people were freaking out and they were like, look at McDonald's bringing witchcraft to our children. And then it just fell down. And then I was like, ooh, okay, I don't want to see these crazy people stories. So I looked up McDonald's retrograde. the only stories that I saw, mind you, I didn't go through everything, but all of the ones I clicked on were all these crazy people talking about how McDonald's is an evil corporation that's trying to indoctrinate our children into witchcraft.
I mean, they're evil, but I don't think they're into witchcraft.
Yeah. And then people quoting the Bible and I was just like, whatever. I already missed it. Maybe I'll catch it next year.
You know, it's funny. I had McDonald's this morning.
Evil. But you didn't get your free tarot reading.
No, but you want to know what's really funny? I thought you were going to talk about a completely different story.
Okay.
Which is some school, I want to say in like Washington. They were able to get a witch who wasn't actually a witch that was killed in Salem, Massachusetts, pardoned because they found that she actually wasn't a witch.
Well, good for them.
And this like just happened like sometime this week. And I thought that's what you were going to talk about. I was like, oh yeah, I heard that story.
Did you see the tweets where people were trying to cancel Genghis Khan?
No.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
Yeah, but aren't all of us like related to him in the 23s
No,
and me's?
I did my 23andMe test, and I do not have any Mongolian or Genghis Khan blood.
Wow.
The 23andMe will tell you I am not related to him. I checked. I was looking to see if I had any Korean blood.
Yeah.
No. Any Japanese blood? No. Any French blood? No. Was I Jewish? No. But then I was, and now I'm not again. Well, so when I did the test, no Jewish. And then later when I because here's the thing, as they get more data, they're constantly updating their information. So then when I checked it, I was like, oh my God, I have Jewish blood. And then I checked my dad's.
Awesome.
And I was like, aha, the Jewish blood comes from you. And then I checked it again later and I wasn't Jewish anymore. I remember it said that I was from Sardinia also. And then I checked it again and I was like from Greece. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, make up your mind. Italy or Greece? So it keeps the more information they get,
I watched the documentary called Our Father. It's about the doctor who was impregnating women in his fertility clinic with his own sperm. They have over, I think it was 94 children that's been confirmed so far and rising.
Gosh. And see, here's the problem.
And they're all in the same area.
That's what I was going to say. This is the problem with that. They're all from the same area.
Yeah.
I saw this other thing where this sperm donor was very upset because when he donated his sperm, he was told that they were only going to do at least 6 pregnancies and that it was going to be sent across the country.
Yeah.
And it wasn't sent across the country. And it was more than 6 pregnancies.
I think they should bring back where you have to get a blood test before you get married.
They kind of have to, I think.
That used to be a thing. Mm-hmm. And now I feel like it's more important because people are donating eggs, they're donating sperm, all the time. You just never know.
Yep.
You never know.
Mm-hmm. And I also feel there should be a separate database for sperm and egg donors, just so that those siblings could reconnect.
Yeah.
And not you do, for example, let's say somebody did a 23andMe and all of a sudden somebody pops up and saying they're my sibling. Let's say it could have been something from high school or I'm sorry, from let's say college. You actually donated your sperm, right? Yeah. But I don't know that. And let's say my dad was a cheater. Yeah. And all of a sudden this sibling pops up and I'm going to be like, oh my God, you cheated on my mom or whatever. Yeah. And then it turns out, no, I donated, I just, I can't imagine being someone to have to be like, hey, I think you're related to me. You know, I understand you wanting to know that. But
So my whole problem with the documentary that I watched, like I understand the people who thought that their dad was their dad because they had brought their sperm to the clinic to impregnate their wives.
Yeah.
That completely, I understand why they would be so upset. I get that. The other people, now they're upset because they were told it was going to be this person that was donating their sperm and it was actually the doctor. And, you know, that's essentially sort of rape in a roundabout way. So I get why they would be mad and upset, but some of them were like, just like, this changes my whole entire life. Like, no, I mean, it was still a donor. Like, well, it is a donor. Now it does change things just because you have like 90 other siblings. And you kind of have to worry about like, have I kissed my sister, brother?
Yeah.
Whatever. So yeah, I get why that kind of changes it. But the people who actually thought their dad was their dad, those are the people that I feel really bad for because there was a whole bunch of them.
Well, also take this in mind. Like I've never done it. Yeah. I'm just imagining what it's like, but I'm imagining you going through like some kind of database or a binder, reading all of these people's profiles. You don't get a picture, but you get a description of what they look like, their family history.
That's not what they were doing because this was
in the 80s or something.
Yeah, it was like 70s, 80s. He had residents that was working for him and they were going to use them to do it. And each of them, they were going to use just 3 times. But
did the parents know that?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
okay.
They were aware. They said, hey, we have these residents. They're going to be here. They're going to give us a sample. And, you know, just so you know, it'll only be used 3 times. And then that's it. We'll move on to the next person. But that's not what he did. He just used himself instead.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, yeah, okay, it's a shock. But it's like, it really didn't change anything. You didn't know that person. It's not like you knew Joe Schmo was going to give you the sample. Like it was going to be some random person that worked at the clinic. Well, it was a random person that worked at the clinic. It's just not the person you thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I understand why that would be a shock. And then finding out that you have so many siblings, but it's not like as crazy as your dad.
Yeah.
Gave a sample and then it wasn't used and he just used his own stuff. It's just like, what in the world?
Is that doctor still alive?
I don't remember. They did say, but I don't remember. He did not get much jail time because they couldn't charge him for
because it was so long ago.
Those crimes. No, that's not the reason. Because it's technically
you signed a waiver,
not rape. It's rape, but it's not rape. So they couldn't really charge him for that.
But you have the evidence as the child.
What they charged him for is that he lied to the Supreme Court because he told.
It got that high up.
Yeah, he told somebody. Or maybe it was the medical board. And he told somebody like, no, I didn't do it. But then he told another person, yes, I did. And it was documented. And then they used that to get him. But he just paid like $500 fine and did some like community service. And that's it. It's like, what?
So now I do wonder though, if I have a sperm baby, do I get a binder? Like, that's what I'm expecting, a database to pick my baby daddy.
Well, and it is different now, you know. The weirdest one is that this mom that worked for him, her husband was having issues, and so they went to the clinic because she worked there anyways. She got impregnated with her boss's sperm. Didn't know, had a baby. It was a girl. Years later, she went to him.
No.
He knew that was his daughter.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Yes. Oh my God. How many episodes is this?
It's just one.
I'm gonna watch that.
It's crazy.
What's it called again?
Our Father.
Oh,
It's
no.
on Netflix. Yeah.
Are you serial?
Yeah. It was crazy. I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me.
He's like a mad scientist. He's like, all right, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Like you know what? Yeah, he did it intentionally, but I think he might have did it maliciously on top of that. Like
he knew what he was doing.
Is that not medical malpractice?
Right? I think so.
Dude.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
Oh
I was like,
God.
oh no. I was like, no, don't say it. No.
I'm gonna watch that.
Let's see here. I'm trying to find the actual name. I'll just cut all this out.
Chia.
Time to press the change to change. I just watched it. It should be on my just watched, but it's not popping up on there. Documentary is changing now.
So we should go car shopping for you. Just get your car appraised. I know a guy.
That is true, but he convinced you to buy a car. Maybe I don't want to go to that guy.
I didn't look at their new cars, though. Maybe he won't be able to convince you on those. Well, like the new cars, he wanted me to get like a base model. And I'm like, I can't go back. You know?
Yeah, no.
Because mine, like, I can afford a better line, but it has to be used.
Yeah, it's Our Father.
Our Father, okay.
It was so good.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be my Sunday watch.
Yeah. So anyways, this movie.
I loved it. I loved when they were at Hogwarts and Jacob was sitting with the kids and he was like, oh no, this is dangerous. You can't touch it. And he's like, they showed this part in the commercial. He's like, oh, how'd you get it? And he's like, Christmas present.
Yes. I like that part.
And then when the Slytherins, he's like, oh yeah, those Slytherin kids, they're cool. They gave me this bag of like jelly beans. He's like, oh, beware, they might be like cockroach flavored. He's like, what? And he turns around and looks at them and they're like giggling, snickering and laughing. And I was like, that's so cute. I love it. I wish, I know we had a whole movie about Hogwarts, but like, it was cute. So did you know they're going to have a video game that comes out in the fall about Hogwarts that happens in like the 1800s? And I kind of want it. And I'm going to play as like a Slytherin. Also, I downloaded 2 games for my phone that are Harry Potter. One of them is basically Candy Crush. I'm probably going to delete it. And then the other game, it's kind of slow. It's not really keeping my interest. Like it wants me to do like quests, but they're not interesting quests. Yeah. So I'm probably going to delete it too.
One thing I liked was when he gets his wand, when Jacob gets his wand, the leaf guy goes, ta-da.
Oh, I know.
Any scene with the leaf,
Little
I love.
Leafy.
I don't even know what the name is of that thing, but
Leaferino.
Yeah, I love the leaf. It's my
And then
favorite.
he was holding the little ring too.
Yes. Ta-da!
Yeah.
So cute.
And I love the little like platypus thing.
Yes.
Especially, okay, so when they went to go rescue the brother, he gave them the signal like, okay, kids, it's time to bust out of here. And so then the guard keep has like the tie that the brother had on, which ends up being a port key. And so he has to get the port key again. So he's like pulling at it. Meanwhile, the little leaf is trying to grab the wand and get out of the cage. And so guard dude wakes up and then like they all come crashing down, and the little leaf is falling with the wand in his hand, and gold coins are also falling. And I knew as soon as I saw that gold coin, little platypus is reaching his hand out, and the little leaf is like, yay, my friend's gonna help me. Nope. He's grabbing those gold coins. And I will never forget when he was on that ground and he was looking up at that platypus. He was like, you dumb fucker. You just let me fall. But like, I love them both so much.
Yes. One other part that I really liked that was funny to me is when they're all standing in Hogwarts and they're talking and he goes, 3 points for Hufflepuff. I was like, yes. I waited all movie to hear this part.
I love that scene.
I didn't understand a word they said prior to that. I just know he was like, 3 points for Hufflepuff.
I'm trying to remember what happened in that scene.
He did something with the smoke. He did like something in the air, and it was like some kind of thing. And
he showed them where they were gonna go.
Yeah,
to that like deity. What's that platform called?
Yeah, I don't know.
Something with a D. Diocese. If I could spell it.
Yeah.
Well, I could like eventually get the spelling. I know the letters in it. It's like a D and an A and an I and an S in there.
Oh, and we found out that Dumbledore's brother is the father of Credence.
I kept thinking it was the dead sister. Like maybe she gave birth when she was like, she died giving birth or something.
Yeah.
Because I knew she died, but I couldn't remember from the Harry Potter movies how she died.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're a step above me. I didn't even remember that existed.
Yeah, because they mentioned why like the brother and him like didn't get along.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is weird because at the end of this one they were getting along. And so
yeah, but you know how siblings are. They fight, they make up. They fight, they make up. Like probably what happens is that, you know, this kid's gonna die. His son's gonna die in the next movie. And maybe that's why him and Dumbledore have like a falling out again that lasts 50 years.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So we spoke of the deer, but the deer at the end chooses who should be the president.
Not who chooses the president, who is of good heart.
Yes. And they were going to decide from that who became president. But
nobody was lined up in a line that time. So he just had to pick from the crowd.
And he picked Dumbledore.
Yeah, makes sense.
And he was like, thank you, but no, shouldn't be me. I don't want to do it.
Thank you for the honor.
Yes. And so he had to go pick somebody else. And I thought it was going to be Jacob. I really thought it was going to be Jacob. I wanted
him to pick Jacob because Jacob's the only person, obviously because he doesn't have magic.
Right.
He's never attacked anyone.
Right.
He's never like done anything to anyone because he can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I thought he was going to pick Jacob. And I was like, oh my gosh.
I mean, they were dancing in the kitchen together. I thought, he's definitely going to pick him.
Yep. I was like, dude, Jacob can be the first minister of magic who's a muggle.
Yeah.
And then later he's deleted from history.
He'd be the muggle of magic.
Oh.
I mean, the perfect person to be in charge is someone who has no power.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah, but like nobody. Oh,
it was a missed opportunity.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was really sad because I thought that he was going to be
I know his little gang really appreciates Jacob, but I would love for like the wizarding world to really see what muggles are capable of and him to be appreciated.
Yeah.
You know, I love Jacob and I want the whole world to love him.
Exactly. Agreed. Him and Queenie get together at the end.
I love how he's closing his eyes when she shows up in her wedding dress and she just doesn't get it. It's like, I can't see you. I can't see you.
Well, then she covers his eyes with her hand. But then her sister shows up and you were very excited.
Yes.
So
Tina.
we have the moment for him or for Newt and for her.
Yes.
I really kind of thought he was going to get together with the other professor, but I also kind of thought the brother and her had something, and then they showed up to the wedding together.
I'm still upset that he is not mourning his fiance. I am still mourning her. I miss her.
It's been over a year. What is he supposed to do? And she was kind of in love with with his brother.
He didn't know that.
But he probably felt it, you know?
I don't know. Anyways, well, since we're at the end, I kind of do feel that like Newt and Dumbledore had like a moment. And I was like, oh my God.
They did kind of have a moment, yeah. But he's so weird in this movie. I've seen movies with Eddie Redmayne in it, and I never thought he was awkward, but he's so awkward in this. And like,
I love it.
Just like, I guess that's a character choice.
Yeah.
But it bothers me.
I love it.
Especially like he was carrying his hand like he still had his bag in it, but he didn't.
He's used to it. It's a force of habit.
He's just so awkward.
I love it.
I don't know. Well, okay. I guess I'll go first because I don't care. Of the three, I guess this is my favorite. I'd say this one, the first one, then the second one. Because I'm pretty sure I like the first one better than the second one.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go for that.
Okay.
Which one's your favorite?
Oh. For me, my favorite one is definitely the first one, then the second one, then the third one.
Really?
Yeah, in the order that they were made.
Wow.
I loved this introduction to this whole new world. I love meeting all these new little animals. And like my favorite scenes of the whole series has to be the one where they're in the middle of the street and the little platypus is like exploding with gold and the cops show up and they're just covered in tiaras and gold. Yeah. And Jacob just points like they went that way. It's like, dude, they're looking at you. Yeah. Like, I love that. I love the first one just introduced me to these whole new creatures. And it was a great introduction to this universe.
All right. So are you excited if there's another one?
Is Johnny coming back?
I don't know, man. I don't even know if there's going to be another one.
Like,
I assume there wouldn't be, but
like, I really, really do miss Johnny, but I'm okay with who they got.
Yeah.
I'm totally okay with it. I feel justice was not served to Johnny in the making of this movie.
You know, it wasn't as jarring as Twilight when they replaced
Redhead.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
So bizarre. I think Rachel LaFleur, I think that's her name, that was in the first one. And I like her. And then Bryce Dallas Howard, I believe, replaced her. And she just wasn't the same. It was just so. Ugh. But this one, I honestly, if I hadn't known that it wasn't Johnny Depp, I probably wouldn't have noticed.
If this is based on books, fine, I get it. But I just wish they'd wait. Why couldn't they just wait one more year? One more year to film this, to wait and see what happened. Why couldn't Johnny have sued her sooner? To have gotten this over with sooner.
Well, he did. He lost his case.
The first one?
Yeah.
Oh, I honestly haven't been following. So, my friends follow it and they talk about it, and that's how I get my news. I just know that they won because on Twitter I saw.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't know what's happening. I would have loved to have seen how they would have done a makeover on Johnny to make him more ministery.
Yeah.
Because he got a crazy look going. Yeah. Maybe that's what people go for nowadays, or then back then. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, who they're going to have.
I thought the new guy was a good replacement.
He was definitely good. He is who I can see Dumbledore being in love with.
the Batman, they should take a cue from this, and they should replace the guy who played Joker with the guy who played Joker on the other show that you really liked on
Are you talking about Jared Leto?
No. That played the Joker on the TV show.
Mark Hamill?
Is that who it was?
He was the cartoon.
No. You saw the TV show. You said the Joker that was on there was really good.
Are you talking about the Gotham?
Yeah, Gotham.
I was talking about the Riddler.
Oh, Riddler. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's who I meant.
He would have been a sweet, sweet Riddler.
But
here's the problem. I still don't like the how they like, even if like I love Corey, but I don't like how they portrayed this Riddler. Like he could have been, he's cute. I love him. He's hot, right? But if they had him in a freaking ski mask where you can't even see his beautiful face, it's not the same.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's why I'm saying for the next one, if they have another one and he's more of a character.
Yeah.
You would love if they switched him out and had the guy from Gotham instead of this kid who looked sneezy and he looked like a nerd. He didn't look like the suave debonair Riddler. He
could still be Riddler. But like I hate how the portrayal.
Yeah.
This is more about the theatrics. I don't like what he was wearing. I don't like how he was dressed up.
Yeah.
That is not his MO. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay, that is not the Riddler's MO. Okay? Yeah. That's just not him.
But, like, in this movie, I really felt like he portrayed this character of Grindelwald really well.
I do like it. I agree.
Like, honestly, if anybody else had played the part of that character in the movies prior and it wasn't Johnny Depp, I probably wouldn't have even noticed. I'd be like, no, okay, that's Grindelwald, cool.
I feel like this was a good transition for the actor.
Yeah.
You know, because the first two movies, Johnny did really well with the material. Yeah. You know, like he was fanatic and he was crazy. And now in this movie, he has to be sophisticated and a gentleman. Yeah. And I'm never going to stop wondering how Johnny would have played this character. I'm never going to stop wondering. The character they got, he played that character beautifully. Yeah. But I can't see how he would have played this same character in the first two films where he was crazy and fanatic.
Yeah.
Like, how would he have done it?
I don't know. I wouldn't have understood him. I didn't understand a word he said in the first two films. So I actually was happy that this new guy took over because I understood what he was saying. I don't know what it is about these three movies, but it is hard as hell for me to pay attention. And I watch British stuff, so it's not because they have accents.
Hey, did you know that they made a part 2 for Downton Abbey?
Yeah.
It's in theaters.
Yeah.
I did not know this.
The last movie was in theaters too.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think I watched that. I watched it, but not in theaters. No, my coworker told me, she's like, I'm going to go watch Bridgerton. I was like, what? What do you mean you're going to go watch it? She's like, yeah, it's in theaters. I was like, again? You know, like a re-showing or whatever. She's like, no, there's a part 2. I was like, there's a part 2 because there's a magazine that said Downton Abbey. Yeah. But I just thought, you know how they have like those collector editions? Yeah. I guess that's why there's a part 2. Anyways, don't tell me what it's about.
I wasn't going to.
Okay, you know how I feel about that.
Yeah. So anything else about this movie?
No, I loved it.
What would you rate it?
I would rate this a 7 out of 10. I love the little Bambi deer. The Chetin?
Yeah,
Chetin.
Yeah, I have no idea. I would rate it I guess a 5 out of 10.
We're gonna go buy wands tomorrow.
Jacobs.
Oh, Jacob.
I mean, if you're into Harry Potter, this is a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm not into it. I was more into Harry Potter.
Okay, Sarah, how many movies will it take for you to fall in love the way I fell in love? It took 8 movies for me to fall in love.
Well, we're on
8 movies and 8 months.
We're on our 12th movie and I'm still not there. So,
oh my gosh, did it really take me no, it took me more like 8 movies and like 5 months, I think.
Yep. No, we're at 12 movies and I still could care less.
So sad.
Yeah. It's just not my bag. And that's fine. It's not everybody's bag. I would much rather watch more Harry Potter than watch the Fantastic Beasts.
Now that I've seen this last one, okay, so now the question is, now that I've seen this one, do I go back and rewatch the Harry Potters or do I read the books?
I think you should read the books.
I think I should watch the movies because in this movie, when they pronounce the word, when they like tortured, what's his name? They said that little like torture spell. And I was like, oh, that's how you say it?
Yeah.
Like, because I only ever see it in words like koosh kosh or koosh. I don't even know what it is.
Charcuterie? No.
Maybe hell. But like, yeah.
I mean, these books are for kids, so.
Yeah, but they have all them stupid Latin words.
Well, I mean, they're made up words.
They're based on real words.
Are they?
Like nox is night. Lumis is light.
Lumiamus.
You know, you could do that on your phone.
Yeah, I heard.
I'm the one who told you.
Well, I also saw it on a thing, like a meme.
And you didn't tell me?
You don't have an iPhone.
I could have told my dad. He has one now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I should tell my dad.
Yeah, there you go.
Not that he uses Siri anyways.
All right, April. Where can they find us?
Two Chicks Talkin Flicks over on Instagram.
I like that you put 2 fingers up.
Dude, it's like my...
So I know.
It's like peace.
You can also find us at twocickstalkinflicks@gmail.com.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so like... I was posting this past summer a bunch of old pictures because I don't post pictures. And I would notice that like I do the peace side and so many pictures.
So many.
And I never noticed that until I started posting them. I was like, oh my God, is this like my go-to move? Like peace. So apparently it is.
It is indeed.
And I will continue to do it. Girl power.
All right, guys. Well, until next time.
Toodles.
Bye. This episode was produced by Two Chicks Talkin Flicks. Music was produced by Michael Girvani. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to be a part of the show, have a movie suggestion, or just want to give us some love, you can email us at twochickstalkinflicks@gmail.com. Thanks, guys. Toodles.